Hi, welcome back. Stage number 2. The remaining ingredients, which are salt, sugar, oil, and flour, all go in at the same time after it's already proofed and the liquid is proofed from the dry active yeast. This is going to be a little bit messy, and I've kind of sped things up in reference to having things set out. So I will explain it as I'm going along. So this one right here, salt, that is 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So it's a pretty small amount of salt that goes in. The other is 1/2 a cup of sugar. The other is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I used canola oil. Supposedly is the best thing when you're using bread yeast and everything else for everything to combine and do what they're supposed to naturally. So I'm going to mix these in and then show you the end of what it looks like and cover this, because this has to sit for over an hour and a half with a damp cloth over the top of it, so that the actual bread it's going to triple in size, maybe possibly double or triple in size. It's kind of a little wonky. You really don't know. Each time you do it, you're going to learn something new. Sorry for that noise. All I'm doing is mixing right now. By the way, if you want to add some kind of, I don't know, peppers, garlic, chives, or anything like that, this is, I think, the best time to do it. All I did the last time was put butter on the top, partway through the cooking process, and also garlic. But I think if you wanted it to be more buttery, more garlicky, you could do that during this, bread process, but I'm not certain if that would work, so I can't necessarily say that that's a good idea. This is a pretty easy recipe that anybody can make. Very simple ingredients that cost less than $10. And I still have more left. So technically it's going to end up making 6 loaves of bread, or maybe more, for $9. And nowadays, loaves of bread are going for $3, $4, $5 a loaf. And you have no idea what's in there, ingredient-wise. So this is the flour. Then you add 1 cup at a time. I usually do 1/4 cup at a time while I'm mixing it in, just to keep the liquid that's in here. You have to eyeball it. It's not like it's a perfect science, unfortunately. Most important thing is to always keep your items clean. sanitary, just like what I did before I started to even do this. Sanitize everything, make certain that your tools are clean, utensils are clean, bowls are clean, because no one needs to get sick. There's enough sickness out there in the world, and trust me, I know. COVID-free, but still, you never want to take a chance. I'm going to show you part way through it, how it changes. We're about halfway through mixing. There we go. Now we're starting to get there. I really can't do very much of anything anymore. So this, doing these videos helps me be able to do something and hopefully give a little bit of knowledge to other people. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see. Basically about halfway done, so we still have to finish adding the rest of the flour. It's like a 5-stage process and nothing is really difficult to do, but it's a little time consuming, to say the least. And that's the reason why most people don't even want to try. Starting to get closer to what it's supposed to look like and also be like. Sorry. I never understood how important bread making was until I did it the first time about 2.5 years ago. And how much time and energy goes into making bread manually. And if you're lucky enough now to be able to do that, or maybe refresh your memory on how to do it, I suggest that you write it down on paper. And do a little bit of a refresher to see what improvements that you can make. If you have any improvements that you can make or suggestions, don't forget to punch that little subscribe button, smash down the like, and tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I'm not a pro. This is only like the 5th or 6th time that I've ever done this. Sometimes at the very end, what you have to do is add a little bit more water and or flour. So it's one of those things where you have to look at it and actually touch it, which is kind of messy. Because if it's the perfect consistency, it will be tacky. So if you stick 2 fingers in, those 2 fingers are going to be stuck together. Yeah, we're there. I'm going to show you. So that's what you want. That's what you want right there. So now it's time to basically put a wet cloth, a damp cloth, not wet, just damp. You put a damp cloth on top of this, and you have to be patient enough and let it set for an hour. So during that time period, I'm going to try and make a little bit of money separate from the show. So can't wait to see you next time.